This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and My Two Cents. What I'm looking at today is Wonder Woman being the most successful origin film, superhero origin film made so far, and how that is so blatantly not true. I get it. The DCEU has not been doing very well critically. Green Lantern, which was originally part of the DCEU till it wasn't, it flopped, so they pretty much wrote it out of the script. Man of Steel, financially successful, critically not so much. Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, critically terrible, financially successful. Suicide Squad, financially successful, critically a bomb. That's the trend with the DCEU movies. So it shouldn't be surprising that Wonder Woman, the first one to finally get it right, to receive both critical acclaim and financial reward. It shouldn't be a shock that people are behind this movie, but they're doing what Marvel was accused of doing, namely they're giving props to a DC film just because it was one that's finally successful. Not so much on the merits of the fact, because Wonder Woman is an origin film, no doubt about it, but so is Spider-Man Homecoming, and I'll go into that. First off, Spider-Man Homecoming earned almost $880 million, while Wonder Woman earned just over $821 million. So Spider-Man Homecoming clearly earned more. Now some people say that Spider-Man Homecoming isn't an origin film because you don't see his origin in the movie. And that's blatantly not true. And the people who do that are being very disingenuous for one reason. There was a Spider-Man movie in 2002, directed by Sam Raimi. There was a reboot of Spider-Man in 2012, directed by Mark Webb. And John Watts' Spider-Man Homecoming in 2017 was the third iteration of this character. The third! How are they possibly going to have an origin story on a character so well known as Spider-Man at this point? It's literally nonsense. But the producers of Spider-Man Homecoming do make it an origin story, just not in the sense of this is the first time he gets his powers and so on. In Spider-Man Homecoming, Peter Parker is becoming Spider-Man. He's learning the ropes. He's awkward, he's not very good at it, which is established early on in the movie. Why? Because it's an origin story. And if that weren't clear enough, the title of the movie is Spider-Man Homecoming, which is probably very meta on some levels, but the most origin story of origin stories that you could come up with. It's his introduction to the MCU, or the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So of course Spider-Man Homecoming is an origin story. It's just not blatantly so, as in the case of Wonder Woman. But it's certainly an origin story, and it certainly outgrows Wonder Woman, and deserves to be the highest earning origin story thus far. This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and My Two Cents.